Welcome to Thursday, July 7th, 2022, your Day with the Podcast, brought to you by Cowboy State News Daily. Cowboy State Daily has more original Wyoming news content than any other news organization in the state. Cowboy State Daily. Sign up for their daily newsletter and check them out on their Facebook page. Typical July weather. It's just really textbook weather coming our way over the next several days. First of all, deep monsoon moisture is around for another day. Then it begins to thin out again. We do need to watch out for severe weather again. We've had some really heavy rain and some large hail with these thunderstorms in parts of the region. Not everybody, but some folks have seen quite a bit of severe weather. Summer sizzle coming this weekend. Be ready for some heat. East of the Divide thunder returns early next week. After a hotter, drier weekend of weather, we do see thunderstorms by early next week, but mainly along and east of the Divide. I did show you this graphic yesterday about a severe thunderstorm Tuesday evening, a supercell, that developed south of Douglas, Wyoming, and traveled into northwest areas of Nebraska. Shortly after I did the podcast yesterday, I was made aware of a giant hailstone that came in right here where you see the higher returns on the radar. We had a hailstone that was over 4 inches. Over 4 inches and a quarter inches wide. Dan Fitz, storm chaser extraordinaire out of Scottsbluff, Nebraska, finding this very large hailstone. Think about that coming through your windshield or banging on your house. It's that time of year, folks, and we're not done with the hail season, just getting started. Great shot out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. You can see the green there in the clouds. Now, one thing that'll happen with these severe thunderstorms is they'll get these hues of green or blue sometimes, and a lot of times that's an indication of hail. With the sun angle just right, sometimes that sun goes through the ice and the clouds and the hailstones, and you can get these different colors reflected and can give you some really eerie situations. Now, as we look at the satellite photo today, a couple of things to point out. You can see the drier air expanding over southern Colorado and areas west of the Divide right here, while the deeper subtropical moisture is getting shunted further to the east into the Corn Belt and Midwest. But we've got this patch of subtropical moisture here, good moisture here as well, across the Pacific Northwest and parts of the Northern Rockies. This is the drier air right here that's going to be coming on in to some extent tomorrow, but certainly by the upcoming weekend. The subtropical moisture going to bring some needed rain to the Corn Belt and parts of the Midwest and Northern Plains here over the next couple of days. Here you can see the precipitable water where the deeper moisture is going to be today and that drier air coming up out of the southwest. But it's going to be a very active day of thunderstorms. By this afternoon, you can see a large part of the lower 48 states going to be in a very active thunderstorm pattern across the Intermountain West, the Southern Plains, into the Corn Belt, then into the southeast United States. So if you're trying to fly across the country, going to be a little bumpy today across the nation's midsection. And you can see here where the highest risk of severe weather is going to be. You can see this is a lot of real estate here in the yellow and the darker green areas where there's going to be some active weather today. All due to that subtropical flow because the high is right now over the southern plains. But look what happens as we go forward. By Saturday, the high shifts more off to the west. And then by Monday, it goes even further west. And what I'm showing you here with the green arrows is basically the monsoon moisture. So it's being directed into here now. By Saturday, it gets shunted and will stay down into Arizona, New Mexico, and into maybe the deserts of Southern California. That's where the better moisture will be shunted. But what will happen early next week as the high goes further west is that subtropical moisture gets pulled around the high and brought in from the northwest. And that's why we're likely going to see thunderstorm activity picking up again in this area here by Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. But starting tomorrow, there'll be a big decrease in thunderstorms. And for the weekend, thunderstorms are just going to be isolated. The heat and the high pressure will really dominate. Now, as we go out farther, we talked yesterday about that July 18th, July 20th time frame. With high pressure shifting back to the east again, that door opens and that green arrow showing the subtropical moisture comes back in again by that third week of July. A La Nina update for you. The latest sea surface temperature anomalies continue to show the strong La Nina for this time of year continuing out there in the Pacific. Notice these little orange patches here. these are water temperatures warming up along the equator with that sun angle warming up the water. This is to be expected. But boy, just a very robust La Nina continuing now right into the teeth of summer. We have seen some moderation of sea surface temperature anomalies up here in the Gulf of Alaska and the North Pacific. That's a change from where we had this spring, where we had a pocket of cold water up there. Now, these La Ninas not only affect North America, but want to show you something interesting. I'm not going to show you this map very often, but this is the temperature anomaly over the last couple of weeks out across the Pacific Basin. And you can see where the sea surface temperatures are cooler, that's affecting air temperature as well out here with below average sea surface temperatures out here in the Pacific. We recently had a hurricane develop in here, but it has fizzled out. One reason for that, sea surface temperatures are cooler. Here are those warmer sea surface temperatures that are helping the monsoon getting going in the Gulf of California. But look at Australia. Australia now getting into the heart of winter. They are experiencing one of their coldest seasons here in a while down under. Something to keep an eye on. Have yourself a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow.